Hello, here's Roy from Tesla Owners US, and today we are showing you how to convert a Tesla wall charger and make it multifunctional so that you can use it with the J7072, which is a standard charger, as well as for your Tesla. And that's what you're going to see now.
I pressed and say
Here's the dry outlet. It's an older version, I think up to 30 amp, and then the charger should be coming here, and you have to watch this because you want to attach it to a stud there, and it's the rear stud where you want to attach it to. So, and then we do it like Tesla sometimes recommends. We put a wire from here to the charger and then have the charge cable here, and that is for John's Model 3 and for the Smarty. The charger is in the new box, the old charger. Look at that great charger, and I put it in here, and here's the wall box, and here is the charger itself. There's the cable for that one. It's gonna be great, and we are ready to install it. So just look at the rear plate, and when we have that rear plate, that is where we cannot find it right now, but when we have that rear plate, that's where we have to install it. Guter Black & Decker. Very good. And here's the box. And here are these screws. I think that's 8mm. We have to take out. Okay, what we had to do is we had to cut that off because they have a Smart as well, and the Smart has a J7072, which is a different standard connector, which is this one. That's a J7072. Now what we have to do, we cut that off. This is the old one. It got twisted anyway, and then we have to connect it to this one, and you need to have the pins. What is what? So the purple one is usually a pilot cable, which controls that. That's the purple one here. And then this is ground, and there are two phases, and this is I think proximity cable, that's how they call it. So, and you have to pull it through this one and put it into the pins, and we want to solder that to the pins. Actually, that's gonna do John, and John is better in soldering. He's an electronic engineer for that. Good. Und das sind die Pins. Also die müssen verlötet werden.
Good. You can cut the video a little bit.
Dann machen wir den Schrauber.
This is the
waterproof.
waterproof.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the strain relief for the connector, and it has those wires. All of them, the 5 has to go through there. And then John used we cut that off a little bit here, and then used household oil, right, to have it been going through there. And that's what we're gonna do. We pull that through. Yes. Maybe we can use more household oil later.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the drawing for that, for the J7072. And there are, when you look at the cable, there are two faces, the red and the black one. Then there is a ground cable, and then there is a control pilot and a proximity pilot. So the yellow is the control pilot, and then that one is the proximity pilot.
The purple one. Yeah.
The purple one, and one of them has to go through a disconnect. and that is at the switch here. And now we're gonna solder some of the pins on top of it and then stick it into the connector. So for explanation, so we soldered the pins or the cables into the pins. So two of the faces there, and
then here you can see the screws.
and here the screws, yeah. And then we had to there are two cables. One is the pilot cable, which is the purple one. There's always purple, and then the other one is the proximity cable. And the proximity cable from the wire from the charger you don't need, but you have to connect it through that disconnect here. So the disconnect to the proximity cable, there are some resistors in there, and then it's hard to know that they disconnect, so you can disconnect with this one the power, and then you can pull it out so there's no arc coming.
Okay, good.
And after that you putting the lid on it. Before there's a clamp here, you have to put the clamp down. There's a little clamp for the wiring, and it looks pretty good. Yeah, so we're gonna find the stud, and here we go. So there. And this is center.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. We did the markings here and here for that base plate. And there we go. Okay, now the base plate is attached. So we drilled a hole here, and also here we pre-drilled it, and then we put some really big bolts through that, about the size of this one, this big bolt. So, and the other plate on the other side, the charger, is being sparred out here so that it does not come against that. Okay. This is table AWG6, cable type 6, with 2 phases and 1 ground, and that phase is up to 60 amp. So we're only running maximum 32 amp through that, so it's more than enough. So we had that all the way through the wall on the other side here, down here, and then here is the connector which goes into the wall. Right, we already attached that connector as well. You can buy it from any Home Depot or Lowe's. And so now here's the wall plate, and then you see those bolt heads there. On the other side they are sparred out, so well engineered to have them sparred out, otherwise you would not all the way attach it to it. So this one goes all the way through that bolt plate. Actually those wires goes through here, and then you are sticking that on it like here, and then you're putting the insert bolts here and here and attaching it. Are 2 faces connecting here, and then there's ground connecting here, and then you have to watch the dip switches here, because you have to change them to what amperage is going through there. So they are currently on maximum, but you have to twist them down. The settings, I have to watch that. Last step is to test it. But at least what we test here is when we put this one in power. And this is how Tesla are now doing their chargers as well. But the exception is this is a 14-50. This is I think a 6-50, 6-30, and power is on. So that's a good sign. Next sign is plug it in. The moment of truth is coming. Open the charge port. Turns blue. Now we need an adapter, because we made out of a Tesla charger a J7072, and now we have a J7072 adapter. Put the adapter on, and the car closes again. Now we can leave the door open as well.
Yeah.
And open, plug in, and starts immediately. And we have the settings for 32 amp. And you look at this, the car is charging at 32 amp.
Found in Istanbul.
Yes. The moment of truth, now also for the little Tesla or the Smart. And here is the J7072. This time we don't need an adapter. It's a Tesla charger to a Tesla drivetrain. And plug that in, all the way in. And then you can see there, Smart is charging. 1/2 hour full. Great.